Hi, I'm Tim. My role is, we've got Leyland Car Care and Car Spunk. I've been doing this now for about 14, 15 years, working in all different things with the valeting of vehicles, basically. We have been all over the place, British Motor Show, Autosport International, all from this little Leyland unit. We've created the brand Car Spunk with all the products and unique scents that come along with that as well. So yeah, that's where we've come from. So it started when I got told by my mum that my first word was actually car. And then for some reason I deviated into doing other things, chefing and all that kind of stuff, and then found myself perfectly back in the car industry. And since there, it started from Arnold Clark, washing cars. It was just a job I was chucked into, you know, at the time, just wash a few cars, that's what I got told. And then here we are now doing podcasts, and we're doing product ranges and working with Formula One cars and all sorts of different things. So we've got Autosport International coming up, which, you know, we've done for many years now. Brilliant event on motorsport, but it has changed over time. It's got the performance side of stuff now. A lot of big names go there. We get to work with a lot of big cars, and you know, it's been really good for our portfolio, but that's really good. And also we've got the Midnight Lancs Monday meets. The Christmas ones are, you know, and the winter ones that we're going to have, you know, are going to be really good. So yeah. So the podcast was an idea that I came about, and I was speaking to Misha, that I wanted to do like car stories, and I was just like, it just didn't have enough, you know, about it and stuff, and I wanted to do a little bit more delving into like the people and the personalities in the car trade and the car world. And then since doing Midnight Lancs on the Mondays and seeing the different people coming through the doors, and also with the trade people we deal with, there's so many people out there with different stories that are never told. You hear all the glam stories, all the Instagram stories, but you never hear these proper, deep down, dirty interviews with people, you know, who have been in the car trade and seen real things and done real things. And sometimes it is a case of they're not to be told, do you know, but we're going to try and get into getting them told.
So I'm Misha Rogers. I'm the owner of Midnight Lancs, which is a car group based in Lancashire. We've been going for about 2 years now, and we do community meetups for people that are really into the cars. Yeah, it's a really good group. Yeah, so I think it all stemmed from my dad. He's very into all of his cars, loved modifying them, you know, putting his own creative spin on it. So I've, you know, since I was little, he used to get me in the passenger seat, take me out for little drives, taught me how to drive from a very young age where I probably shouldn't have been driving. But yeah, it all stemmed from there really. And then especially with one of the sleekers that he used to own, I remember he put like a voice activation thing in it, and I thought it was alive. And I've always really wanted a sleeker from there, and then I've come on to own 3 of them now, and can't get rid of them. Yeah, so I think definitely the Fast and Furious films, they were always like a big one. Also something that I used to watch with my dad was Pimp My Ride's like exhibit and like modifying cars and making them absolutely crazy. Every day after school, you know, I'll come home and watch that, and I love watching that because it's people putting such a creative spin on stuff and like really going to the extreme. So, you know, we're kind of doing that within Midnight Lancs and modifying it, and I just find it really interesting. Yeah, so I'm really happy to be involved with the podcast. Can't wait for it to get started. So I think it's mainly about that community aspect, getting people, you know, behind the camera, and bringing everyone together, and something to talk about as well. So again, that community aspect, you know, bringing people in that have got really interesting stories, loads of different things to tell and share. We'll love to help them get that story out and let other people know about their experiences and inspire others and stuff like that. So yeah, so Midnight Lancs is growing from strength to strength. So, you know, we've got so many members now. We're in the thousands where we used to be in the hundreds. So it's just growing every single year, and I'm really excited for the future. We're looking at doing really big events, you know, on large scale aspects instead of our smaller little meets. So growing the community again. which is going to be fantastic and really exciting.
Hi, my name's Henry and I'm the owner of a vehicle wrapping company based in Manchester called HD Wraps. My first passion in life was for cars. I remember years ago I used to go around to my friend's house where him and his dad used to build these little RC motor cars, and the speeds that they got up to was just insane. I mean, it was there as well where we learned how to wire subwoofers and create different sound for all these vehicles. I mean, growing up there were lots and lots of friends, or the older friends, who had the Sierra Cosworths, the Subarus, the Lancers, and I mean, just watching those go past and listening to the sounds of those engines, that opened my eyes to the max power scene. So then, yeah, my life was pretty much going to be all about cars. I then went on into design, so I'm a graphic designer by trade, and then I wanted to use this newfound design world and also incorporate into the vehicle kind of aesthetics. So then I stumbled across vehicle wrapping, which I didn't know anything about, so I decided to combine the two. Hence where I decided to use my patience that I have for design and utilise that to create different vehicles, the aesthetics for different vehicles, should I say. And that's when I became a vehicle wrapper, owner of a franchise in Manchester. Knowing the customers was then a more important part of the job for me. I mean, it's okay changing the colour of a vehicle, but then when you get behind the reasons why people are changing the colours and the colours that they pick, then you understand more about the personality and the people that we're dealing with. Yeah, I mean, the whole process behind the vehicles and wrapping cars is not just about the vehicle itself. It's an individual thing, so obviously somebody might like a matte black car, somebody might like a chrome vehicle, but it all comes down to personality. So yeah, I mean, that's one reason why I do the podcast and why I've been in the industry for so long. I mean, getting behind the vehicles is great, but getting behind the people that own the vehicles is even better. I mean, they've got stories that will make you laugh, stories that will make you cry, and then obviously you just understand why people are the way they are and why they express themselves in the way that they do, especially with the different kind of wraps that they have. They've done so many different wacky wraps that you think, why? And then again, this is one reason why we are doing this, to find out what makes them tick and what happens behind the scenes.